Money grows, peace can grow. Minus that can grow. Only money grows.
What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome to another video. I feel like a lot of things are about to happen that is going to disclose a lot of new technology that the military has been hiding from us, whether if they're using it or another country is using it, or if they're aliens. I'm just gonna put it out there, if they're aliens, man, because a lot of people who are involved in UFO technology, who've been involved in a lot of secret governmental programs, have been coming up dead. A lot of them have been going missing, or like I said, ended up turning up dead. And Trap Lord Ross, of all people, has been exposing this over the last couple of days. And at first I wasn't feeding into it, but it's the fact that so many now have come up dead or missing that it's very questionable why. At the same time, Trump and Obama confirmed that there are aliens, and Trump has said that he's going to disclose everything about UFOs and aliens. Coincidentally, there go that word again, coincidentally, all of these people who are involved in these dark secret programs are dying. So we're about to get into this video. It's just madness after madness after madness. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys sub up and join the kingdom. But with that being said, let's get into this one. Oh yeah, make sure you guys go and subscribe to him as well. You know what I'm saying? He's been bringing out a lot of different content. He got his glasses off for this one.
I've been breaking down some of the most suspicious and dark stories related to UFO discoveries and UFO technologies for probably a good week or two now.
Yeah.
There's been a whole bunch of very bizarre, unexplained instances of people either going missing or just outright being murdered not long after they've been working on top secret technology. Okay, now look, if you want to go crazy with it, a lot of people are saying that the government actually captured crashed alien spacecrafts and have been trying to reverse engineer the technology so that they can use them in things like fighter jets and advanced weapon systems. Some people want to go all the way out with it and say that people are being murdered because, you know, this alien technology is falling into the wrong hands. People are maybe whistleblowing. It's not entirely clear, but what I do know is that there is way too many people that have suspiciously disappeared and been murdered for this to all just be a coincidence. So in this video, I'm going to break down one of the most suspicious instances of people that were privy to, you know, space technology, information, and then suddenly just everything went left and everybody died. In this story, we're going to be talking about Jacob Pritchard, who murdered his wife and his co-worker before taking his own life. And it just so happened that everybody was all involved in working on this technology. Now, this is probably the most suspicious one of all. I touched on it in a previous video. I'm going to break it down in specific detail to you guys today in this video.
And if you guys want me to go back in his other videos and talk about the other ones, because the other ones are just as wild. The dude who Tesla had blew up at the Trump, I believe it was at one of the Trump hotels in Atlanta. His Tesla blew up. He was involved in a lot of deep secret military activities, and a lot of people don't even think he's dead. Like, so it's a lot going on. So let me know down in the comment section if you want me to go back and react to that video as well.
So it was on October the 25th, 2025 when this all went down. It would be a double murder-suicide involving Wright-Patterson workers. And, you know, when you look at where these folks worked, the information they were privy to, everything starts looking a bit suspicious.
Disturbing new details out of a death investigation involving 3 employees of the Wright-Pat Air Force Base. Police saying 34-year-old Jacob Pritchard killed his wife, 33-year-old Jane Pritchard put her body in his car, drove to the West Milton City building before killing himself. This was around 4 in the morning on Saturday. Police say 2 hours earlier, Pritchard broke into 25-year-old Jamie Gustus's apartment in Sugar Creek Township and killed her. Officials don't know what led up to these attacks, but say the 3 knew each other through their work at the Air Force Base.
They all knew each other through their work at the Air Force Base. That's very convenient, isn't it?
Right.
So as I've covered before, there's a great website that's been doing a lot of reporting on this stuff called the Sentinel Network.
Hey, it's Ashley with
Sorry
For
about
Patriot.
that.
We're in a bit of trouble. To put it plainly, we need to clear out some.
And this website, they, in their opinion, they would officially connect these deaths to the mysterious disappearance of Air Force and UFO expert General McCasland, who we've talked about recently, just recently as of last month. He disappeared and went missing from his home. Took no shoes, no glasses. Took his revolver though,
Right.
and there's been absolutely no signs of him ever
Make
since.
sure you
And he
took
was
that
apparently privy
blammer.
to some of the most top secret alien UFO information technologies recoveries available at the highest levels of the government. So this is what they're saying on this website about how these two things are connected. It says, here is what we have now. Every fact below is sourced and verified. Monica Jacinto Reza, inventor of Mondaloy, AFRL-funded contractor, then JPL NASA, vanished on June the 22nd, 2025. Jacob Pritchard, AFRL Sensors Directorate, dead October the 25th, 2025. Jamie Pritchard, AFL CMC Wright-Patterson, dead October 25th, 2025 too. First Lieutenant Jamie Gustitis, AFRL 711th Human Performance Wing, TS SCI cleared, dead October the 25th too. So those three are the connected ones we're going to be looking at in this video, okay? But there's more. Carl Grillmare, Caltech, IPAC, NeoWise Pipeline, NeoSurveyor Instrument Characterization, shot dead February the 16th, 2026. William Neil McCasson, former AFRL commander, vanished February 27th, 2026. 6 people, 9 months, every single one of them connected to the Air Force's research lab or the institutions it directly funds. AFRL is the entity that develops and transitions the most sensitive aerospace technologies in the American defense arsenal. Every name on this list connects to it. Wow. So let's take a little closer look at exactly what went down with this this double murder self-deletion that is probably the most suspicious incident of them all. It all went down, as I said, on October the 25th, 2025, and it all kicked off when a police officer basically discovered 2 bodies directly outside the police station. Convenient.
On 701 South Miami Street. That's the West Milton Municipal Building that includes both the fire and police departments. The officer reports seeing a vehicle parked there with the trunk open. When the officer approached, police state a man was laying on the ground, a handgun nearby. According to a statement from West Milton Police, he was dead with what looked like a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The officer continued to investigate, police saying they found a dead woman in the open trunk of the car. Police believe the 2 are married. The West Milton Police Division, the Miami County Sheriff's Office, and the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation are continuing to investigate. Chief Wright says it was an isolated incident. There is no threat to the community.
It depends what community you're talking about, right? It says, wow, another situation. This one's so close to home.
I was just going to say, like, come on, ain't no way in hell all these people who are working with UFO technology all winding up dead, and there's no public safety crisis at hand. Especially with everything that's going up. Literally in my last video I just made about how all these oil refineries and all these fires are starting to happen. The oil refinery blew up and all of these fires being started and stuff, and then y'all just gonna say there's no public safety hazards going on. Like, come on, get real with that.
Involving the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I guess many with these identifiers of reserved series license plates under special categories don't know who will snap, as it could be a co-worker, spouse, child, or parent. Just so many coincidences, and still I have to know, was it worth it, and where will the route be addressed? It is sus. So the police would then connect a 3rd murder to this incident of this couple that were found dead. It would be Lieutenant Jamie Sue Gustitis. And this would all become very, very suspicious now.
Now, around a half hour ago, we just wrapped up a press conference with West Milton's police chief, where he revealed to us that the death of a woman in Sugar Creek Township is also connected to this killing. Now, that 3rd person, now identified as Jamie S. Gustitis of Sugar Creek Township, who was also an active member of the Air Force, was reportedly killed that same morning at around 2 a.m. when Jacob Pritchard allegedly broke into her home and killed her. It's unclear of the exact timeline of events, but authorities know Mr. Pritchard took 2 separate vehicles and that he drove with his wife in the trunk to West Milton's municipal building. But just before 4:30 a.m., police say Jacob Pritchard opened the trunk to his car in the parking lot of the municipal building and took his own life by shooting himself, all of which was caught on surveillance video. Now, motives are unclear, but Chief Doyle Wright was able to confirm that all 3 knew each other from working at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base together.
The relationship between Mr. Pritchard and Mrs. Pritchard and Miss Gustitis is believed to be through their work at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The investigation is ongoing. We still have several people to talk to, and hopefully we're going to find out what the connection was other than work, if there was one. We don't know.
They don't know what the connection was, right? Right. Says, I would like to know if any of these people met with anyone from AARO since its inception. So neighbors of Lieutenant Gustitis would actually place the 911 call approximately 3 hours before all of the bodies were found, or the 2 other bodies were found at the police station. So here's some info on that.
Gustitis lived in a condo complex in Sugar Creek Township, which is south of the base. On Saturday, October 25th, around 2 o'clock in the morning, a panicked 911 call came in to Greene County dispatchers. Gustitis' neighbor said that someone woke her up from a dead sleep, banging on Gustitis' door, possibly shattering a glass door. And when she tried to see what was going on, she reported a man threatened to shoot her.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I live at 1627, and my neighbors next door to me, there was people out of Honey Tree Place. There was people out on their patio, a gentleman, and he was trying to get into their door, and I opened up my back door, and he said he had a gun to get back in my house, and he hopped off their patio and left.
1627 Honey Tree Place?
Yes.
Okay.
He woke me up out of a dead sleep. He was pounding on the door with something, and
This was your neighbor's door?
yes, my neighbor's door. I live in the condos.
Okay, wait, so how long ago
I don't
was
want to go outside. Just right now, it woke me up. My condo door's right next to hers. The glass door is shattered. I think they shattered her door.
So when you went outside, he told you he had...
I didn't go out on my deck. I turned my light on, and I peeked my head out the door, and there was guys on her deck, and I said hello, and he said, get back in, we have a gun. And he jumped off the deck and ran.
Okay.
And my Ring camera went off out front.
Like what?
And he jumped off the deck. Which way did he go?
I didn't see because I came back inside. I don't know.
So the glass door there is shattered?
I heard like a shatter, like glass.
The 911 caller took a look at Ring camera footage, and she was able to give police at least a partial description of the man who had threatened her. Police believe that man was Jacob Pritchard.
Okay, it looks like he's got on blue jeans, white. It looks like a white male from what I can see. Blue jeans, white gym shoes, and it looks like he's got on a black, like some type of T-shirt or like sweatshirt.
If you're a dad watching this and you don't have life insurance, we need to have an honest conversation here real quick.
Y'all, we gotta have that blammy.
Do you see which direction he goes?
He came, so he was at hers. He came over, so he ran right across my front patio, or I'm sorry, my front door. My front door is on the main street when you come in.
Which way was he going? Can you tell?
He was going towards Apple Branch Drive.
Okay, and it doesn't. If he's on foot when he does that, doesn't get in the car or anything?
No, he's on foot because he was in the back of our yard, so he ran through the back, went down the side.
I just want you to keep yourself safe there. We'll let the officers know to stop by and speak to you, and you can give them a statement and everything. Like I said, just keep an eye on your door and your camera and everything. And when you see the officers
my question so far, because they said that she was in the car, but he left. So how did she end up getting in the car? He went back inside and got her? Because he jumped off the deck, so obviously he didn't jump off with her. How did she wind up in the car?
talk to them, but otherwise to stay inside until they get there, just in case he is still walking around outside. I don't want you to step outside and put yourself at risk until the officers have a chance to kind of check and secure the area there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Police found Lieutenant Gustitis dead inside the condo, but
So that's a really chilling police call, right? And it does kind of raise a few more questions. When they said, we have a gun, it didn't say I have a gun or he has a gun.
Right, he said we have a gun.
It sounded like multiple people, but hey, don't know that for sure. That could have just been a turn of phrase. Now, the local police would basically respond to the Gustitis residents following that call. They would leave the scene and then return later on.
I obtained these logs about 24 hours ago, and they back up what neighbors told us, that Sugar Creek officers were at the scene, left, and then came back several hours later, and that's when a larger investigation began.
There was people out on their patio, a gentleman, and he was trying to get into their door.
That 911 call had dispatchers sending police to this apartment complex, while the caller said more.
And then I opened up my back door, and he said he had a gun to get back in my house, and he hopped off their patio and left.
The documents we obtained show that 911 call came in at 2:02 a.m. The first officers pulled up here at 2:05. They did not find the man, but did get information about the woman that lived in the apartment at about 2:37 a.m.
I've got a phone number. No answer. I left a message.
The call log confirms what neighbors told us, that officers left the scene. It shows the call was cleared at 4:04 a.m. The next entry shows the call being changed from a disturbance to a burglary at 5:18 a.m. Then the call is reactivated, and the same two police units go back to the scene at 7:14 a.m. The fire department is then called in at 7:16 a.m., and the next entry shows that Ohio BCI is requested to the scene at 8:34 a.m.
That's
the
a
search
lot.
warrant we obtained from Greene County courts did not say when officers looked into the apartment. We do know Ohio BCI...
After getting that call, why wouldn't they go in and look and they left? That's not making sense to me. Let me know if I'm tweaking in the comment section. And these some white folks, they ain't after hearing all that in that 911 call. You mean to tell me they showed up and then left? They didn't go inside the building, but they had to see the shattered glass. That's not making sense to me. And the fact that they have to reiterate that it was the same two officers making me think it wasn't the same two officers.
I was not called in to help with a homicide investigation until 75 minutes after Sugar Creek Township Police returned to the scene a second time.
What?
I went back to the police department Thursday looking for answers.
Yeah, because what?
Is Chief Brown available to speak with me? I was told the chief was not available. Now
So it's a bit suspicious. Why on earth did they go there, look around, leave, and then come back hours later?
Hours
call
later.
the fire brigade and then find the body. Now,
That doesn't make
interestingly
any
enough,
sense to
later
me.
body cam would be released, and we would see the officers actually responding to the scene.
On the scene, Jamie Gustitis was dead upstairs. Officers were here for nearly 40 minutes, and not once did they go inside her home. News Center 7's Mike Campbell joins us live in Greene County.
And Mike, I know you spent the afternoon going through about 90 minutes of video that we requested weeks ago, where neighbors seemed concerned that night.
Yeah, and the video clips, James, are from a Sugar Creek Township police officer and a township police sergeant who has since resigned from the department. Now, Jamie Gustitis lived in a second-floor apartment, the second balcony you see there, and one of her neighbors called 911 at about 2 in the morning. She and other neighbors then met the officers as they arrived with some very alarming information, but no one seemed very sure if Jamie Gustitis was home that day. The video starts with former Sergeant Doug Evans walking up to the apartment complex. He zips up his jacket on a cold morning, partially blocking the view from his body camera.
Coincidentally, right? Come on.
I'm telling you, he jumped across us like Spider-Man. He was out.
One woman told the sergeant and the second officer that she woke up to loud banging, got up, and poked her head out to take a look.
And I heard like banging, either like a golf club or a bat or something, like banging the window, like, and then I heard glass shatter.
Sergeant Evans and the officer's body cameras showed a ladder that they would later come to believe Jacob Pritchard put on top of an AC unit and then just managed to make it onto Gustitis' balcony. Another neighbor said she heard a man yelling during the banging.
Him yelling, "Let me in," it made me...
He came with a ladder.
The first woman then told officers that she captured that man on her Ring camera as he ran away, but that he threatened her first.
I peeked my head out and I said, hello.
Yeah.
And he goes, don't come out here, I have a gun.
The officer and the sergeant never seemed overly concerned, apparently believing that this was a break-in attempt and Gustitis was not home.
Did she say anything? Did you talk to her? So nobody has actually spoke to her then?
One woman asked police a pointed question when they appeared to be leaving.
Likelihood he'll come back.
Because why did they leave?
Back live here, those neighbors told police that Jamie Gustitis was active duty Air Force and that she did travel frequently, but the body...
I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the south side of Chicago. Whenever there has been a case where somebody had their house broken into and the neighbors knew, the police go in there to make sure that no one was killed. I've seen this happen numerous of times. I've seen this a lot. Y'all mean to tell me that because he obviously was talking to someone telling them to let him in, and then he broke the window and went inside, and they didn't go in the building? They didn't come back until hours later? That doesn't make sense whatsoever. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. That is not their normal operating procedure. You seen that it was injured. They would go in to see if an actual robbery took place, because a person could have just went in there, could have been looking for somebody and then left if he didn't find them. But y'all not going to go in there to make sure? You're not going to look around and see if things were actually stolen or if someone was hurt in the building? And then he zipped up his jacket to cover up his camera. Why? Yeah, this is, and that's what I'm saying, y'all. That's why I wanted to show y'all these videos. This is getting kind of creepy. This is getting wild because all of these people had something to do with UFO technology. Like, what?
Camera videos do not ever show officers confirm that by getting on the balcony or forcing their way in her front door.
Exactly, because that's what they would have done.
Left the scene and did not return for several hours, which is when Gustitis' body was discovered.
Very sus, right?
That's
they
very,
left,
very
they didn't
sus.
check, they came back hours later,
That's
and that's when the body
very,
was
very
discovered. Now it makes you
sus.
wonder what could have happened in between then.
Yeah.
What kind of conspiracies could have been going down between then? But anyway, you
Yeah.
can make your own mind up about that. Authorities would officially determine the cause of death for the victims and a full suspected timeline of the series of events.
That's
so this would be
wild.
number 2 news, WDTN. They would say cause of death of 1 victim in double murder-suicide revealed. It says, more than a week after a double murder-suicide rocked the Miami Valley, the cause of death of one of the victims has been revealed. On Monday, West Milton Police Chief Doyle Wright announced that the autopsy of Jamie Pritchard showed a preliminary cause of death was asphyxiation from strangulation.
But he had a
Pritchard
gun.
was killed either late Friday or early Sunday by her husband Jacob Pritchard in their Huber Heights home. At some point during the late night time frame, Jacob Pritchard drove to Sugar Creek Township apartment of Jamie Gustaitis, an acquaintance of the Pritchards from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He attempted to break in, causing Gustaitis to call the police. After police arrived and checked the situation but not finding anyone, Pritchard killed Gustaitis. So they're saying,
because this not making sense to me. First off, the gunman said, "Don't come out here. We have a gun." He said we, right? That's the first thing. So you had a gun, you went in and then you strangled her, but you had a gun. Because what it sounded like to me is that whoever yelled out, "We have a gun," was probably there to keep watch, to make sure no one else entered while someone else was in there strangling her. I mean, I'm no detective by any means. But that sounds clear to me that it was more than one person there. Because he had a gun. Why wouldn't he just shoot her? That would have been way quicker than staying on the scene longer to choke her to death. This ain't adding up whatsoever. But let's keep listening.
after police arrived and checked and they didn't find anyone, that's when the murder happened. Now, that is suspicious as fuck.
Yeah.
It says Pritchard then drove to the Huber Heights home and drove up to the West Milton Municipal Building parking lot with Jamie Pritchard's body in the trunk. Once there, he popped the trunk to make the discovery of the body easier and took his own life.
Why?
Why the hell didn't they protect that woman? Why on earth didn't they do more? That's what I wonder. Now, on-site reports would detail the environment where the husband and wife were ultimately located after the murder. This would be a shot of the car in the crime scene with the tape all up around there. And this basically said a second neighbor of the West Milton Municipal Building, said that when he left his home for work around 4 a.m. Saturday, he saw the car in the parking lot with the lights off, but he couldn't tell if there was anyone nearby or whether the trunk was open. Another neighbor described the moment she heard gunshots outside her home. It said, I remember hearing what seemed to be a gunshot, and I didn't think anything more about it, except that someone may have run over the walnuts that are in the street. I looked closer, from my yard or from my porch, and I could see there was a vehicle in front of the city building. The trunk was popped, and there was a white sheet hanging over the trunk. It's a very, very...
Turns out the government tracks a lot of data, and it's scattered all over.
Creepy scene. So, if it wasn't suspicious enough, let's take a closer look at the organizations that these victims and perpetrator actually worked for. So Jacob Pritchard served as an acquisition project manager for the AFRL's Sensors Directorate. So this is the Sensors Directorate. It gives you a little bit more information on what they do. It says the Sensors Directorate focuses on affordable sensor and countermeasure technologies for reconnaissance, surveillance, and precision engagement and electronic warfare systems. Sensors for weapon systems, warfare systems, right? Could be counter missiles, could be aerial systems that detect where the enemy is, could be targeting, surveillance, stuff that we need to catch the ops in global conflicts. Let's just say that, okay? Or aliens while we're there. So the goal is to provide robust sensors and adaptive countermeasures that guarantee complete freedom of airspace and cyber operations for our forces and deny these capabilities to our adversaries. Core technology areas include radio frequency, electro-optical sensing, electromagnetic spectrum warfare, and multi-domain sensing autonomy, resilient missile systems, enabling devices and components. Some of the most important systems that we need to fight the enemies of the West. Now, his wife, Jamie Pritchard, was a finance specialist with the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center. Let's hear a bit more about their history.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant General Donna Shipton, Commander of the Air Force Life Cycle Management Center. The current administration ties peace through strength to its push for military lethality and readiness.
I'm Dennis D'Angelo, Executive Director of the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center. Through a strategic acquisition, modernization, sustainment, and total lifecycle oversight, we ensure readiness, lethality, and efficiency across the total force.
I'm Colonel Chadwick Stipe, Deputy Commander of the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center. At Air Force LCMC, we organize, train, and equip warfighters with war-winning capabilities.
Through America's military strength, we will restrain enemies and support allies. I'm Chief Master Sergeant Timothy Weiser, Command Chief of the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center.
Center Airmen oversee a diverse global portfolio that strengthens the total force. Their responsibilities are vast and include foreign military sales, advanced weapons and munition systems, modernizing, sustaining, and ensuring operational effectiveness of Air Force aircraft, managing center installations and infrastructure, developing software to deliver agile solutions to warfighters, and advancing human systems to equip airmen with the tools needed to protect in all environments.
In his first official message as Secretary of the Air Force, Dr. Troy Mink reinforced the Department of Defense priority to deliver on modernization across all mission areas. Our center is key to that priority. It is our duty to deliver critical programs on time and within budget.
Our team drives precision measurements, enhances warfighter readiness with AI, and delivers breakthroughs in advanced manufacturing.
We have experts working on command and control networks, sensors, navigation and electronic warfare capabilities, plus fighters, tankers, advanced training capabilities, reconnaissance systems, and surveillance tools. We're responsible for planning and executing all lifecycle activities of the entire United States executive aircraft fleet, including Air Force One.
Our propulsion teams keep over 22,000 engines running for the Air Force and partner nations. Thanks to digital material management, we're revolutionizing the acquisitions process and accelerating product life cycles from design to deployment.
Plus, we're doubling down on next-generation systems like autonomous collaborative combat aircraft and the future F-47, the first crewed sixth-generation fighter.
Peace through strength drives everything we do. At Air Force Lifecycle Management Center, our uniformed
You
and
just got to think, this is just what they're willing to tell the public. These things that they are involved with, this is just what they are telling the public and willing to tell the public. And the things that they are talking about, these are highly advanced systems that they are dealing with. Y'all don't think these folks have something to do with UFOs? We know other people who have died. I am going to do that video on the other one so you guys can know. Some of those people who died literally worked at Area 51. Some of these folks that gone missing worked for Area 51 and other secret governmental facilities. So, and for them to make the connection that all of them are interconnected, I believe I made a video on my channel a while ago that I told y'all how the government compartmentalizes the making of advanced technologies. That they'll have one agency make one piece, and they'll have another agency make another piece, and then another agency make another piece. And then they'll have people that they trust to keep the secret to come together and put all of the pieces together. And that's what it's seeming like it has happened, that these people worked for other government institutions, but they knew if the technology came out as one whole package that they would be able to say, wait, the systems that thing is using is something that I developed. Or somebody at another institution and be like, wait, that's something that I developed. So if we end up, and then it's that crazy conspiracy theory that there's going to be a fake UFO event, a fake alien event that happens that's really being perpetuated by these people who are trying to build this one world government. Man, these folks think we crazy, man.
Airmen take a broad strategic approach to their work, ensuring the warfighter is fully prepared for anything and in any environment. Working with our industry partners, we are transforming how the Air Force builds and sustains combat power for the future.
We take seriously our role in safeguarding the Air Force's technological edge, operational strength, and strategic deterrence capabilities. This disciplined execution equals victory over our adversaries.
While the Air Force evolves, one thing remains constant. Airmen project power by planning, executing, and delivering the tools needed to dominate the sky. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you for all that you do to support the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center as we help provide peace through strength.
Peace through strength. So they're doing everything they can to develop the systems to make America as strong as possible so the other countries are too scared to beef with them. And all of these people that lost their lives in these stories are working on some of the most important defense projects that exist in America. They're protecting Air Force One. They're building sensors and systems that can protect Air Force One. They're protecting the president. They're keeping the president alive. They're developing these new, rocket ships. It is the highest level of the government. Okay. Now let's look at the last person. Okay. Lieutenant Jamie Gustaitis. She served as an operations research analyst on the 711th Human Performance Wing. So here's some details about that organization.
This is Honey with Superpowers by Mana Kora.
Sorry about the ass.
It's your daily dose of wellness.
At the heart of every mission, there's one element more complex than any machine: the human. And in today's environment, the human is a key determinator on the battlefield. Enter the 711th Human Performance Wing, where innovation and human performance unite to give warfighters a competitive edge. As part of the Air Force Research Laboratory, the 711th Human Performance Wing is dedicated to discovering, developing, and delivering integrative human performance knowledge, technology, and solutions. We're unique, blending cutting-edge science and technology with a deep medical focus, aligning our efforts with the Air Force Surgeon General, Defense Health Agency, and Department of the Air Force. Our mission is broad. We enable, enhance, sustain, and restore airmen and guardians throughout their careers, ensuring they are ready for today's challenges and tomorrow's conflicts. Essentially, the 711th Human Performance Wing is a one-stop shop for human warfighter support, ensuring ready forces and medics now and for the future fight. How do we achieve such a comprehensive mission? With more than 1,200 experts in nearly 70 specialties, our team leverages an unparalleled range of expertise. We lead in human-centric education and innovation, housing some of the world's most advanced facilities, like the DoD's only human-rated centrifuge, where we test pilots' ability to withstand 9 Gs and validate next-generation aircrew equipment. Plus, our advanced training environments, where medics prepare for real-world missions in simulated flight conditions. Collaboration is at the heart of our success. With hundreds of partnerships spanning industry, academia, U.S. government, international entities, and other military services, we ensure that airmen and guardians are at the cutting edge of innovation. These partnerships expand our reach and capabilities, delivering a wide range of opportunities and impactful results for warfighters. Ultimately, we deliver the knowledge, tools, and technologies that make a real difference in the field. Innovations like BatDoc-J, a mobile tool revolutionizing battlefield care, and the Impact platform, enabling one operator to control multiple unmanned assets, exemplify how we're giving warfighters an edge via decision superiority. We pioneer human.
One operator can control more than one air vehicle. So just imagine that with all this futuristic technology, one person would be able to command a fleet of drones. Hypothetically. Well, shit, it ain't hypothetically. Shit, that's what they saying they are capable of doing here. And again, this is what they're willing to tell us. The military is at least 40 to 50 years advanced on secret projects. So if this is what they're willing to tell us they're doing, I'm sorry, I was getting right. I know I got quiet for a minute, but that's how I'm sitting there listening to this shit. I'm like, y'all got this much capability that you're willing to tell us. I'm only picturing what you're not telling me now. Because these capabilities are scary. And to know that y'all are 40 and 50 years ahead of this, man, y'all better.
Machine teaming technologies like Project Boar, a system that controls multiple unmanned vehicles from a centralized command and control station, streamlining operations. Beyond this, we deliver solutions to real-world problems, from boots-on-the-ground support to deep reach-back capabilities. We offer research, education, and worldwide consultation in aerospace and operational medicine. Our labs process nearly 2 million samples annually, and our experts handle tens of thousands of consultation requests.
So look, these guys are working on the highest level of, you know, government contracts, space, air technology, weapon systems. It's crazy, okay? Yet, with this, you know, triple death, double murder, self-deletion, there's still no motive, all right? And the very, very closest I was able to get to finding an actual motive in this situation, and, you know, barely, if that, all right, was this post on r/Air Force about the triple death. Now, some people in the comments here appear to think that maybe this was a love triangle gone wrong. I find it quite hard to believe, but let's hear what people are saying.
And I knew they was finna get ready to say that, because they try to say that, you know what I'm saying, the people in the military are the biggest cheaters. They are. This is a known fact. That, you know what I'm saying, you shouldn't get involved with somebody in the military if you ain't in the military. And even if you are, and if y'all not located at the same base, your spouse might cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? That is a known thing. But I don't think, I feel like that's so surface level, because again, these aren't the only deaths pertaining to people who are surrounded by this type of technology. It's seeming like all the people who have been dying and going missing were involved in a very specific project. So to say that this was a love triangle and then that's what's going on, I call BS, especially when they went to her house after it was broken into and they didn't enter the house for hours. That's not making any sense to me. So I call BS on that. I call total BS.
Some people in the comments actually claim to know them. So a lot of people saying they don't know, people saying they worked with them, didn't know them well, but this is shocking. You never really know people. I knew Jacob and Jamie when I was stationed there. People say they knew one of them. A lot of people just don't know what's going on. So there were a few theories about this. It says, I don't know why the Daily Mail link got picked for the post here over a local news source or official statement from Right Pat, but the article incorrectly states he drove to his workplace, which would have been on base, and shot himself. He actually drove to the West Milton Municipal Building and shot himself there, all of which was cameraed on camera, according to news reports. None of the incidents happened at a base, as far as I know. Not sure if I'm allowed to share the direct link, but if anyone's looking for a way to help, there's a meal train posted for the kids. The AFRL community is good at taking care of each other, but this shit is crazy. Most of us are furloughed civilians. No one really knows what we're supposed to do in a situation like this. It says, I hadn't even considered that aspect of it. This particular incident seems to be something that had been brewing anyway, but the added financial stress on people risks driving some folks into irrational actions they might not have done. Now, that's an interesting theory. But basically, here's some people that know them. It says, I've known Jamie Pritchard Rock since middle school. I went to high school with her. She was an incredibly kind person who never judged another. Her 3 children will never be the same. Someone says, Jacob was my boss. I always thought he was a kind and considerate man when I interacted with him, totally speechless about all of this. So a lot of people think there was a love triangle going on. This guy says, honestly, when I was a lot younger, I used to mess around with a married chick until I was at her place and saw a family photo shit changed my entire perspective. Saw a husband and wondered how he would take that betrayal, and 2 kids that would probably be messed up from the fallout. I left abruptly. Affairs are fun until they're not. Occasionally, I wonder if they're still married.
That has nothing to do with
come
these
up
folks.
In some heated argument, and if
you
it's going to be, if I'm going to be hunted down like a damn dog, don't do it, fellas. So a lot of people are thinking that's what happened. It says you should also say ladies. Apparently, the other Jamie, the lieutenant, was a female. So either the 2 ladies were up to something, or he was with the lieutenant and got caught and decided to end it. People saying it could be a domestic violence situation. Everyone's saying affair, and it could be she was trying to leave. Statistically dangerous time in DV situations when a partner tries to leave, but that doesn't explain the dead lieutenant. People are saying maybe that guy was hitting on the academy grad and she told the wife, or the wife found out that he liked the academy grad and was going to leave him. He kills the wife and then blames the other girl for his problems. People saying no motive yet. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say love triangle gone horribly wrong, and now 3 beautiful children have become scarred orphans for life. People saying mum met lieutenant at the gym, became close, felt seen for the first time in years. Husband finds out I'm from from there, we're at this horrible ending. Well, the lieutenant is female. So I personally feel like these guys don't have a clue what they're on about, right?
Same. I don't either. Like, they just saying shit.
Someone says, my guess is an affair. The wife found out by the lieutenant. Maybe the lieutenant wanted to end it and he didn't, so tells the wife thinking he will end it for good. The wife kills herself. Husband finds her dead and then blames the lieutenant and kills the lieutenant. I've had multiple married spouses hit on me at work. One in particular kept at it, and when I made it clear to stop and I wasn't stopping, I confronted the spouse as well as my own spouse. For some people who cheat, once they cross the line, they just assume everyone else will cheat with them and lose filters and boundaries. We live in a sinful world. The worst part is the kids experiencing their worst day ever. They're saying the wife didn't suffocate herself. More likely, the affair was the two women. The wife was going to leave him, and so on. Says the wife died of asphyxiation. So did she lock herself in the garage with the car on and kill herself? And the husband found her. Everyone assumes he murdered her. I don't think that's what happened. It says Jamie was always an open-minded person, so involvement with another woman wouldn't have been unlikely. Husband was rather uptight and more traditional, so his wife's involvement with a woman would have been triggering and seen as her embarrassing him and their traditional seeming family.
Nah.
People saying it wouldn't.
I'm not buying
it.
I'm not buying
theories. The love triangle. I honestly don't think the love triangle.
So it looked like that's all, you know what I'm saying, that we gonna get from that video. That was a good video, Ross, because he went into their actual profession and what they was dealing with. And again, it tied together that the fact that these folks ain't the only ones that died that's dealing with this technology over the past 2 weeks. They're not the only ones. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that it was a love triangle. I'm not buying none of this. Something is going on. And if we get to seeing UFOs and stuff, we would be justified in not believing I'm already not going to believe anything that the government comes out and says about that. Period. Especially with this going on. Before this, even these deaths and these people start going missing even happen, I already had it in my head once I found out about Project Bluebeam. If you don't know about Project Bluebeam, I advise you guys to look it up. There's a lot of videos on TikTok about it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about it. And get prepared for what these folks are about to get ready to do. It's a lot of madness that's coming to the world. And it's like it's being purposely done. But you guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. I'm going to literally bring out, I'm going to make another video about the other people that's gone missing so that you guys can know like the reason why I feel so strongly on the fact that this wasn't a love triangle situation that is deeper than that. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys sub up and join the kingdom. But with that being said, King Marcel out. Peace.
Always alive, looking for the prize. That's eternal life. And bringing the things in my mind. Talking real peace of mind.